Hello students, myself Sibi Manoj from MIT College Alandi. I'd like to introduce the second lecture on the topic chromosomal basis of inheritance. Previous lecture was on the introduction of this theory, who is the one who came forward with this theory, and what all work was done by Mendel, and what is the reason behind unrecognized work of Mendel, and who were the scientists who came forward with the establishment of Mendel's work after his death, that is after 16 years. What all points were need to be studied after 20th century which supported Mendel's work? All these concepts were discussed in my previous lecture on chromosomal basis of inheritance or chromosomal theory of inheritance. Now, as you can see in this slide, the chromosomal theory was proposed by two scientists in the year 1902. One of the scientists is Walter Sutton and the other scientist is Theodore Boveri. So Sutton and Boveri, they came forward with the theory, with the concept of chromosomal basis of inheritance based on Mendel's concept of genetics. Now, according to them, what they explained about heredity, it is nothing but the passing of genetic traits from parent to offspring. It is the passing of genetic traits or genetic characters from parent to offspring. The two workers means the two scientists, they found a close similarity between the transmission of hereditary characters and behavior of the chromosomes while passing those characters from one generation to the next through the agency of gametes. That means there is something which is required as an inheritance. That something is nothing but transmission of the hereditary characters from one generation to the other because of the presence of gametes. So this was found by those two scientists, Sutton and Boveri. What they said, according to them, they are saying that gametes, they served as a bridge between two successive generations. Two successive generation means one after the other. The first, second. So these are the one and two are the two successive generation. So between that one and two generation, there is a bridge. That bridge is because of the presence of gametes between the two successive generations. Male and female gametes, they play an equal role in contributing the hereditary characters of the future generation. Means mother and father both are responsible for the character of the progeny or the offspring. So this is mother and this is father. So this is a progeny. This is a female gamete. This is a male gamete. And after the sexual reproduction, the progeny is obtained. So whatever genes are present in this child is because of the genes of the mother and because of genes of the father after sexual reproduction. Only the nucleus of the male and the female gamete, that is egg and ovum, they fuse. Thus, the hereditary information is contained in the nucleus. Because what's what they say? That the hereditary character is present in the nucleus because the fusion of the gametes takes place. But before you call the fusion of gametes taking place, you could say that the fusion of the male and the female nucleus takes place. And that is nothing but called as hereditary information is present in the nucleus. Chromatin in the nucleus is associated with the cell division in the form of chromosomes. Chromatin, which is present in the nucleus, this is present associated with the cell division, mitosis, meiosis, in the form of chromosomes. Any type of deletion or addition in the chromosomes can cause structural and functional changes in living beings. Means any deletion, which you call it as a syndrome, chromosomal syndrome. There's addition of extra chromosome or deletion or removal of one chromosome, deletion of the chromosome. They causes some structural and functional changes in the living beings. Next point, determination of sex in most of the animals and plant is affected by specific chromosome. So that specific chromosome, the sex chromosome, which we call it as a sex chromosome, a particular gender, whether a particular plant or animal is a male or female, is because of the sex chromosome present in that particular individual. In female, if you call this is a human sex chromosome, they are shown over here. In female, it is XX chromosome. In male, it is XY chromosome. And this is a sex determining region, this particular area, the sex determining region, that is Y, SRY gene present over here in this area. Okay, now this is what are the silent features of this chromosomal theory? The first point is both the chromosomes as well as genes, they occur in pairs in somatic or diploid females. Here what they want to say is the chromosomes or the chromosomes or genes, they occur in pairs. No matter it is in the body cell means the somatic cell or the diploid cell, the somatic cell or the diploid cell. Now in this you can call this is a male and this is a female. Just for simplicity, the diagram is shown. This is XY chromosome and this is XX chromosome. But the Y chromosome is smaller. Now, in this case, these are the two chromosomes. These are the sister chromatids. This is the centromere, which connects the two sister chromatids. Okay, male chromosome, female chromosome. Okay, now, second, a gamete contains only one chromosome of a type and only one of the two alleles of a character. What they want to say over here, a particular gamete, a male gamete or female gamete, whatever it is, they contain only one chromosome of a type. They contain only one chromosome, either it can be X chromosome or Y chromosome, and only one of the two alleles of a character. Obviously, you all know that a particular character has got two alleles. So a gamete will contain only one chromosome, either X or Y, and it will contain only one of the two alleles of a particular character, no matter it is a male gamete or the female gamete. What's the third point? The paired condition of both chromosomes as well as Mendelian factor is restored during fertilization. See, before fertilization, there is segregation of the gametes taking place. But during fertilization, what is happening? The chromosomes as well as the Mendelian factors, they are restored. The paired condition is restored during fertilization. Okay. Chromosomes are also transferred from one generation to the next. Chromosomes are transferred from one generation to the next, as in the case of the genes, that is the Mendelian factors. Even chromosomes are transferred. So these we are discussing during Mendel's time. So even chromosomes are transferred from one generation to the other. The same way the genes were transferred, the Mendelian factors were transferred from one generation to the other. The number of chromosomes is fixed in a particular living species. For example, human chromosome, many 46 are there. So they are fixed in the living species. These are found as homologous pairs in diploid cells. Diploid means two-end cells. In a particular species, now suppose in human beings, the number is how much? 46. Now here you can call this is a chimpanzee. In chimpanzee, how much it is? In this potato, in how much it is? It is 48 chromosome. In humans, how much it is? 46 chromosome. In chicken, how many chromosomes are there? 78. In frog, how many are there? 26. In pea plant, how many chromosomes are there? 40. So like that, the number of chromosomes, they are fixed in a particular living species. And they are homologous pair in the diploid cells. Diploid is 2. What is homologous pair? This is the next point of discussion. One chromosome comes from father and the other is coming from the mother. And that gives rise to homologous pair. Okay, one chromosome is coming from father and the other is coming from mother after sexual reproduction. And whatever chromosome is obtained, they are in homologous pair. Now, before cell division, what happened? Each chromosome as a whole and alleles of a gene gets replicated and are separated during mitotic division. Means the chromosomes as well as the alleles of the genes, they are replicated, the doubling of the chromosome takes place and they are separated during mitosis. Meiosis takes place during gamete formation. When the gametes has to take place, meiosis takes place. Okay, homologous chromosomes form synapses during prophase 1 stage. Prophase 1 is what? It is a meiotic stage. Meiosis 1, meiosis 2. Prophase 1 is of meiosis 1 stage. So homologous chromosomes form synapses during prophase 1 stage, which in later course they get separated and transferred to daughter cells. These chromosomes, they has to go towards the daughter cell. So before going to daughter cell, they has to get separated. And this gamete separation takes place, segregation takes place, and then they are transferred to daughter cell. All this we have discussed in cell division chapter in your 11th standard. Each gamete or haploid cell has only one allele of each gene present in the chromosome. If you talk about each gamete or a haploid cell, they have got one allele of each gene present in a chromosome. I repeat, each gamete or a haploid cell, they have got only one allele of each gene present in the chromosome. Next, a characteristic diploid number is again established by the union of the two haploid gametes. A characteristic diploid number, is established by the union of two haploid gametes. Here haploid means NN gametes. So the diploid number is established. How it is established, the 2n number, how it is established? By the union of two haploid gamete. One is a male gamete, other is a female gamete. When the NN comes together, they give rise to diploid number of chromosomes. That means it is established after the, the sexual reproduction. Both chromosomes and the alleles, Mendelian factors what we call, behave in accordance to Mendel's laws of segregation. That's what they're saying. The chromosomes and the alleles, which we are discussing in the Mendelian chapter. So the chromosomes as well as the alleles, they behave according to the Mendel's laws of segregation. There is separation and then there is a reunion giving rise to diploid number of chromosomes. Fine. That's all for today's lecture. Thank you.